Okay, everyone, welcome back to another exhilarating episode of A&T Talk Podcast. As you can see by the title, yes, a MAGA Civil War is brewing. So, unless you've been sleeping underneath a rock somewhere or haven't been paying attention to social media, a MAGA Civil War is going on right now. Now, I know everybody is talking about, like, what's going on? What you talking about? Yeah, you remember how Donald Trump was out here, tossing out all of these, you know, little things you want to talk about, like, little talking points about, he's going to buy Greenland, he's going to buy Canada, he's going to invade Mexico, he's going to invade Panama, he's going to invade this, he's going to invade that, he's going to invade this country, that country, he's going to invade America, he's going to invade New York, he's going to invade the moon, he's going to invade the sun, type of thing. Throwing out these little shiny talking points to get the media talking about everything, right? All the attention on him. While all you didn't know was that brewing underneath of all that, and this is during Christmas too, by the way, and the day after, a civil war was going on between MAGA and DOGE. Yeah, DOGE, the Department of Governmental Efficiency. You know who his that department? The two people that hit that department? Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So, what is MAGA, mad about when it comes to them? Well, it's all about mass deportations. So you know how MAGA wants to try to get their white ethno state off and running as of right now, right? Donald Trump takes office and day one, he wants to go out there and start kicking out a bunch of Latinos, right? He doesn't want any more of these he wants illegal immigrants because again, MAGA, make sure I clear this right, I'll get this out the way because a lot of people don't understand this. MAGA is for illegal immigrants. MAGA is for undocumented immigrants as well, right? They are for all of that. But the thing is, it's all about, the type of immigrant. If you're coming from a black or brown country, they don't want you here. But you come from those white Scandinavian countries and you're white, come on in. As you notice, they talk about immigrants committing crime is never a white Scandinavian. And it's not that they don't commit crime, it's the fact that they don't pay attention to it because they don't care. So, they want their white ethno state. They want to get that off the ground and get that running. So, in order for them to do so, they had to get rid of a lot of these, a lot of these immigrants, these brown people, black and brown, all the ones they can get rid of. So that's why they talking about, denationalization. That's why they talking about, people being here legally, illegally, right? They really don't care. If you're brown, you got to go, right? Denationalization, they're going to take you, round you up. That's why they talking about, creating these concentration camps, things like that, right? So, they want to get rid of these immigrants, these brown people, so they can kick off their white ethno state. But this is a problem for the likes of Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. You know why, right? You don't? Well, that's because Vivek and Elon need engineers. And where are they going to get these engineers from? I know you're saying they get them right from here in America. This is the best place on earth, the greatest place on earth. Wrong. They're going to go to India. Vivek is from India. He knows a lot of these engineers. He's been there. He talked with them, had fun with them, had dinner with them. Right? And all of a sudden, now we have a whole new talking point now, don't we? Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk wants these immigrants who are engineers because they're going to have the knowledge of how to do the work, and they get paid a lot less than you would an American citizen, right? And also, an American citizen is going to what? A lot of time off of work, right? So they're like, hey, these Americans are expensive as hell. We can't pay them no more than minimum wage. And if we pay them minimum wage, they're going to run off as soon as they get hired, literally as soon as they get hired, to another one of these companies who are looking for engineers. They'll be here today, gone tomorrow. Quick, fast, and hurry. Only thing they need is a daggone reference, a supervisor name and phone number. And they already putting in applications online. And immediately gone the next day. So, no, we ain't going to do that because we got to train you. The training is going to be expensive and all that. Like, then y'all not as bright as these, not as bright as these, immigrants. So it's going to be kind of difficult, right? Of course, it would be. But if we get those immigrants in here, perfectly fine. Now I got videos to prove this. Because I always come here with videos and whatnot to prove the point. And let me go ahead and get this situated for you. Get me down here real quick and get those videos up. Right? Here we go. Like Mario. There we go. Let me go ahead and take the volume off of that. Because you better hear it to mine. So let's go ahead and let's hear what Adam Bachler had to say about this.
Show you the exact moment that Vivek Ramaswamy likely nuked his entire future in Republican politics with one single bizarre post. Now, this tweet has 79.5 million views, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, and that's because both sides are just stunned at the absurdity of what Vivek tries to say in this post. He talks about American culture and mediocrity, and he blames a lot of our problems on Boy Meets World and Saved by the Bell and other 90s TV shows, which we'll get to. But before we jump in, I just want to say, here's the kicker about this all. Vivek is bemoaning this cultural shift in America while simultaneously championing the very policies that would make this problem worse. For example, you can't complain about a lack of American engineers and then turn around and advocate for gutting the very systems that support the education of engineers in this country. Because Vivek has called for dismantling the Department of Education. Mm-hmm. He's called for cutting Title I funding for low-income schools. He even wants to eliminate programs that provide mental health support and after-school activities. So how exactly are we supposed to cultivate this new generation of innovators and engineers when we're pulling the rug out from under millions of kids? So make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and I really want to know what your guys' opinion on this is, because I wasn't around to watch Boy Meets World or Saved by the Bell. I mean, I know a lot about the shows.
So, you want to know how he was planning on dealing with this? The same way Elon Musk was going to plan on dealing with it. And that was giving out these H-1B visas to a bunch of these engineers from, India, right? and places like that. He's going to go there to go and get these immigrants to come here to do the work because these Americans can't do it. Oh, wait, that's going to be a problem.
But a lot of you guys were there during the 90s. So I want you guys to give me your own opinion of Vivek's tweet after I read this, because I do value what you have to say. So Vivek said, the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. And here's where it gets bizarre. His thesis is, our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ, or the jock over the valedictorian, will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zack and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. He then said, fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity, and their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. Listen to this part, because this part is very odd. He then says, more movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Is this the no fun zone? Is Vivek Ramaswamy just the no fun guy? It would suck to be his kids. No Saturday morning cartoons. You have to do your morning math. He then said, most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view such, quote, those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy,
I saved $700 with Liberty Mutual.
Nope. Gotta get that off of there. Gotta get that off of there. Nope. I knew that was going to happen eventually. But, yep. I was waiting for it. Now it's back. Let me go ahead and get that up for you. There you go.
What you will achieve. He then says, now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raise their kids according to one model versus the other. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent, and if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. He says this could be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era, blah, blah, blah. There's just so much to break down with this post. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I guess I want to start off by just debunking the entire thesis of this. The entire thesis statement is wrong, and then everything he subsequently builds on top of that is extra wrong. So his thesis is that American culture idolizes mediocrity, when I think it's the exact opposite. Our culture is obsessed with glorifying the top 1%. Every single movie has a hero with a body that's not really obtainable. If you're scrolling through social media, you're seeing the best parts of people's lives, and they're glorifying their lives. So I don't think people are depressed because they're mediocre. They're depressed because we've told them that being mediocre makes them worthless, when the reality is, being normal or normalcy isn't something you should vilify. The vast majority of people are normal by definition. I mean, being normal or mediocre means you're average. So if everybody were above average, then there would be a new definition of average, right? But again, it's incredibly odd to vilify normalcy, especially when his definition of normalcy is just like having fun and watching TV shows.
So you start to see the problem here, right? He's vilifying America. He literally said it. He said it. It's the culture. Whenever someone brings up culture, it means race, right? Your identity. So when he says it's the American culture, he means it's just American people, period. So, as you see, he got a large ass tweet. He's been so much time pinning this thing together, getting this thing together, just for him to say, look, we need to have our immigrants. Our immigrants are different than everyone else's immigrants. We can't hire Americans because y'all are stupid. Y'all can't do the work because y'all not Steve Urkel. Y'all not Screech. Y'all stupid. Right? That's basically what he's saying. Y'all stupid, and we need smart people. And American people are just too stupid. So we got to go with these immigrants who are smarter. Right? So, he's saying that. He's saying that. It goes on. Now, I would have let that play out a little bit more, but you got to hear what he said. This is his tweet. Don't worry, I got more and more and more for you. You know? Like I said, good old Elon himself comes in here too. Because it's not just Ramaswamy. It's Elon. Again, like I said, it sparked the Civil War.
Holidays, and it has me laughing my ass off. We have no time to wait.
Here you go.
Elon Musk sparked a MAGA Civil War over the holidays, and it has me laughing my ass off. We have no time to waste. Let's jump in with this tweet that says, Trump isn't even in office yet, and his coalition has already started to crumble. In the past 2 days, there's been a big debate about legal immigration to the U.S. Tech bros like Elon Musk, David Sachs, and others want more immigrants to work in their companies. But the MAGA base is fiercely opposed to any kind of immigration, legal or illegal. Soon.
Didn't I tell you? What did I tell you? I said this is all about immigration and hiring immigrants. I said it on the podcast, the Not So Common Sense podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Go out there. It's up right now. I said it on there. Here it is, right before your eyes. It's all about immigrants. Because, like I said, everything boils down to race. And these MAGA morons are sitting here. Let me go ahead and stop the echo for you. Are sitting here talking about this. Get that better layout. So they talking about this, bringing this up. Hey, let me continue.
Soon, Trump will have to choose between upsetting his loyal supporters or the tech bros who helped fund his campaign. Either way, it won't end well for him. And it feels so good. It feels so good to be right because everybody watching this, including me, we've been pointing out for months that inevitably this new coalition of Elon Musk and all of these MAGA populists is going to implode when all of their interests begin to conflict. We know that Elon Musk is only doing this to further his own interests. So what happens when he plays his hand or he oversteps a little bit too much and all of the other MAGA populists begin to realize, wait a minute, this is the richest man in the world. Why is he dictating policy for us? And I'll show you what Elon Musk said in 1 second, but some of these reactions are hilarious. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz, I love that we can say former now. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz said, we welcomed the tech bros when they came running our way to avoid the third grade teacher picking their kid's gender and the obvious Biden-Harris economic decline. We did not ask them to engineer an immigration policy. Again, he is directly referring to people like Elon Musk or David Sachs or Peter Thiel. He's beginning to realize that these billionaires are only furthering their own corporate or personal interests.
And like I said, Here it is, right before your eyes. Racist ass pedophile Matt Gaetz coming out here talking about, we welcomed their help when we were, trying to molest third graders. Trying to stop teachers from educating third graders about sex. About, picking their gender, right? Because again, he's against them knowing about sex because this is the age range in which, Matt Gaetz gets his girlfriends. This is the right age range for Matt Gaetz over here. This is his age range. This is his his pick of the litter. Third graders, right? He loved them third graders. Pedophile Matt Gaetz.
And this isn't me taking Matt Gaetz' side. It's just the rare time where a broken clock is actually right. Laura Loomer, who is one of the most vile human beings ever, actually begun to caught on. She said, "How long before we hear the tech bros say, quote, I gave Trump X millions of dollars, so I matter more than you do. It's only a matter of time. They didn't donate to Trump to make America great again. They donated to Trump so they could try to influence immigration policy for their tech projects." Now,
but again, y'all welcomed this person in with open arms. You said that you're going to allow them to be there. What you think was going to happen? He is the richest man on planet Earth. We've been saying this forever. It's a class warfare. We, average Americans, are always going to be screwed over. But Laura Loomer, who's also rich, is just saying, I thought that I was going to get my white ethno state. But now he's saying we need to have them here for work. Why can't we just have poor white people work? Did that work the first time? No, y'all had to get slavery. Okay.
Now, she's a vile racist, but what she's saying
vile racist. Vile racist.
To Trump, not for some altruistic reason of saving the country, but to further his own interests. But of course, Laura Loomer had to end this off with some straight up racism. She then said, "Is there a compromise? Can we mass deport the third world invaders and the me no speak English best and brightest to Mars?" Okay, so Laura Loomer is still a vile racist, but what she's realizing is that she can start to split the MAGA fan base, or at least gain more power by pushing Elon Musk's influence down. I think we're going to start seeing Matt Gaetz, Laura Loomer, other people fight back against Elon Musk's power because they see that they are losing power. Laura Loomer.
Look at this. How in the hell are you going to run a country when this is happening right directly in your party? You got the rich billionaires going out there saying, hey, we need to have some immigrants so we can be able to make some money. And you had the right wing, alt-right white supremacists saying, oh no, we need to get rid of every single solitary brown person. None of them here. In order for us to do that, we have to first start deporting the brown people that's here. Black people will be, they won't be able to sniff it out that we making sure that they're the next one left. And we're going to start working our way, getting rid of the, Asians. And then, once black people are the only one left, we probably kill them off, right? They got police doing that anyway. So, yeah, how are we going to have our white ethno state if y'all bringing immigrants here to work? They working here. They in this country living their lives. They gonna have to, do something with themselves. You can't just allow them to work every day, all day. They're gonna need some time off, and when they get time off, I'm gonna have to see them. That's how it is. And they get mad.
Loomer then said, "It's an invasion. They want to replace you. This is just white supremacy right here. This is just race realism."
Here you go.
David Sachs, one of Trump's biggest allies, pushing back against the racism. So someone said, "Did any of y'all vote for this Indian to run America?" First of all, I like how we're all celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah and enjoying the holidays, and everybody on Twitter is having a war about racism and immigration. Just chill and enjoy the holidays for a second.
I told you this is going on during Christmas. Literally during Christmas on the 25th. During Christmas. As you can see, this guy posted this a day ago. This guy posted this thing 2 days ago. During Christmas, MAGA is having a warfare, a bloody warfare during Christmas. And you talk about us? We missing out on this? Yeah, we laughing at y'all because y'all can't govern. Y'all keep showing time and 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 time again that y'all just don't know what y'all doing. That y'all should never be in power. This man not even in office yet. He can't make it through the month where the president is a lame duck. This is supposed to be a month-long celebration. When Obama won, it was a month-long celebration. Twice. Month-long celebration. When Biden won, a month-long celebration. Every time Donald Trump won, warfare breaking out. He's supposed to be the guy. Y'all say he was the guy that's going to have no wars. Now he's out here shanking all these countries in front of your face to distract you from the literal civil war happening right between his own party.
But David Sachs responded, Saram has been a U.S. citizen for a decade. He's not running America. He's advising on AI policy. He will have no influence over U.S. immigration policy. These attacks have become crude and not in the holiday spirit. I'm signing off now. Have a Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry, David Sachs. Did you just realize that you have been funding and actively feeding this racist monster that we call the MAGA movement? It's too late to say now, hey, these attacks have become kind of crude after you're the one who funded this entire movement.
But that's the point. Once it start coming home to roost, it's what y'all talking about? You know, I thought that was one of the good ones. I've been here for a decade. Right? I've been here for a decade. They don't care. They don't care if it's for 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, 9 decades. You can be 90 plus years old, 100 plus years old. They want you gone. Because they want a white ethno state. We said it was about race. It's always been about race.
Over the past year or so. So I want to break down how this all started. What did Elon Musk say to get everybody mad at him? And this interaction might be slightly confusing. So to lay the groundwork, they're debating, of course, how many immigrants we should allow into the U.S. A lot of far-right, hardcore MAGA people say we should allow zero immigration whatsoever. We should go completely isolationist. No matter how talented or skilled you are, you should not be allowed into the U.S. And Elon Musk understands that that would hurt his business model a lot. So he's the one advocating for a more open immigration policy. Not open, but he wants skilled workers to be able to come over here. He wants to be able to pull some of the smartest scientists or engineers from other countries, and that's called brain drain.
But you can hear the problem being is that, well. That's going to be a problem, right? Again, you want for the Democratic approach, for us to start bringing people in, skilled labor, right? That's how it all started with these, H-1B visas. Come on in. You want to be a worker? Come on in. You want to do this job that no American wants to do? Come on in. Come on in. We will take you in. MAGA is saying, we want our white ethno state. Can you not understand it? White ethno state. What part of white ethno state do you not understand? Elon saying, but that will hurt my business. A white ethno state is no good for anybody. It just leads to more infighting and deciding who is who and where is where and who gets what. Who's over that. And then it's going to be now broken down from just race to, oh, you're not white because you're Irish. You're not white because you're Catholic. You're not white because you're this. You're not white because you're that. And it's going to go beyond that. You're not from this household. You're not from this side of the world. You're not from this side of the world. You're not from this state. You're not from that country. Because it never ends. When you start basing things off of race, color, those immutable traits that you cannot, remove, it starts becoming a problem. Right? But let's keep going, because this is good. This is the one I was looking for.
Want to drain the smart people from our adversaries, so the U.S. has a smarter base of engineers or doctors. So this thread started off by somebody saying, there are 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans that opportunity by bringing foreigners here? And Elon Musk responds, your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. Now, that's not true, but I'll break that down in 1 second. He then said, this is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You ... don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as the physical differences are so obvious to see.
Racism.
However, the mental differences between humans are far bigger than the physical differences. And someone said,
so this is basically racism. This is racism because he's trying to use the NBA, trying to say that, black people, because you say anything like NBA in football, 100% of the time you're going to think black people, even though, there's a lot of people that's playing basketball that's not black. Nikolai Jokic, can't even say his name right, is not black. He's definitely white. He's white. There's another one from the Dallas Mavericks. I got his name. But pretty good one. He's not black. He's white. There's a lot of white people playing basketball that's pretty good, right? But the problem being is that you first think of black people, right? And black people are supposed to have this physical giftedness, because that's why they have us do a lot of labor-intensive work and not smarts, because we're black, we're dumb. That's what they think, right? Our brain is smaller, smoother, and we are dumb, right? That's why they do IQ tests made by a white man to test everybody on white people ideology, and you wonder why white people keep winning. Yeah, if I test people on black lingo, y'all won't understand what we're saying. Y'all don't understand what yo is. If I say yo, y'all can get it all wrong 100% of the time, unless you're black. I mean, seriously, unless you're black, right? Unless you're black. But anyway, let's let it continue.
someone said, open a school. We have brains. Elon Musk said, if you need a school, you've lost already. What? And then actual truth respecter, someone on the far right, responded, incredible. At this rate, you are actually going to make me side with the leftists who want you treated like a hostile foreign agent. Again, this entire thread ended with a far-right MAGA supporter admitting that Elon Musk is essentially a hostile foreign agent. And let's...
Right there. I'm telling you, this is going on during Christmas. And this is why Donald Trump was talking about all this bullshit about, invading Russia, invading Greenland, invading Canada, invading Mexico, invading Portland, Oregon, invading Panama, invading these other places, because he's trying to dangle all this in front of your face so you don't see this civil war that's actively going on still to this day between Elon Musk and these tech bros and MAGA.
Let's break a lot of this down because Elon Musk is very clearly triggered. If you've ever seen Elon Musk's tweeting style, it's always one or two words like wow or interesting, where he's just boosting disinformation. But he actually got triggered here because he wrote like an entire thread about somebody else's lack of understanding about something. So let's start here. Musk's claim about a shortage of engineers in America isn't new. Big tech uses this all the time. But it's not even true. It's not that there aren't enough talented engineers in America. The issue is that many American engineers won't work the grueling, exploitative hours that Elon Musk in particular demands. Elon Musk wants immigrants who are hungry for work to come over here. And of course, there are many, many brilliant people from other countries that
Again, is this anywhere near surprising? The same reason why you have these people in the agricultural field is the reason why you have them here. The same reason why you have them in warehouses, it's the same reason why you have them here. They want for these low paying immigrants to come here, take these low paying jobs, take these, this grueling treatment that they will have, and make these billionaires tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of money while not being able to do something about it.
That we do want here, but I know engineers who have worked for Tesla. I know people who have worked for Tesla, worked for SpaceX, and they always describe environments where you're expected to work yourself into the ground, the weekends included. There's a popular saying among Tesla employees, and it's that if you don't show up to work on Saturday, don't even bother coming in on Sunday. Meaning if you're not willing to work 7 days a week and sacrifice your entire life, there's no point in working for a company like Tesla in the first place. So many engineers in America in particular know their worth. They value.
And you see, so these engineers get overworked. They work in 7 days a week. Trust me, my wife is doing that. You have no time off. You come in, you work, and you leave. And then once you come home, you get a couple hours of sleep and prepare for the next day, get food, get clothes together, go to sleep, wake back up the next day, do it again. Come back home, prepare for the next day, get your food together, go to sleep, again. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and you again, every day, all day, coming back to work, in work, never stopping, never taking time off, ever. Problem being is you can't do this with Americans. I'm sorry to tell you, you can't do this with Americans. Even if you dismantle, completely eliminate the National Labor Relations, Act and the board. Get rid of all, and I do mean every single solitary, labor, act and whatnot. Every safety net that we have, you literally damn near bring back slavery. It's going to be hard to do that with Americans, especially white Americans. Because why? They're going to see that. And they're going to say, you want me to deal with what? And the first time they had to experience that, you're in court. And you might be saying, oh, good. I took away every type of, thing that they white. The judge is going to look at these white people and say, nah, you can't treat them like that. That's cruel and inhumane. You gotta change it. And now you have to give them better work environment, better working conditions, better pay, this and that, right? And if you don't get rid of the, safety nets that they have, it's going to be worse. So that's the reason why these tech bros and whatnot, not just tech bros, just billionaires in general, are looking for these, immigrants, so they can work these people into the ground, get rid of them, get them deported when they serve their usefulness, round up another goddamn batch of them, bring them across the border, use them up, toss them across the border, and grab another and keep going. That's how they keep the cost so low.
Value their time and their families and their well-being. So instead of paying competitive wages to his workers, Elon Musk turns to foreign labor, people who would be willing to accept a lower pay and longer hours, because for them, it's still an improvement in quality of life to come over to America. And I agree with that. I think America is a beautiful country despite all of our flaws. And of course, people will get mad that I say that in the first place, but we should be able to admit America is a pretty beautiful country. Now, Elon Musk then says, if you need a school, you've lost already. What? Who can naturally, just intuitively be an engineer? Yes, some people may be naturally smarter or more inclined.
What he means by that is, if I need to teach you, if I have to pay for you to learn, that's already a loss for me already. These engineers are coming here already with the education, with the knowledge and the skills to do the job. Only thing I need to do is teach them my basics, the differences between my shit and the things they learn. Computer-based learning, and that's it. 1 week of computer-based learning, and you're on the job working.
Than others to be an engineer, but everybody needs school. So just sit with that for 1 second. This is a man who runs companies that rely on some of the most advanced engineers in the world, and he's dismissing the very idea of an education. He's basically saying you should be smart enough to do all of this without formal training, when I guarantee there is nobody working at Tesla or SpaceX in a high position that has less than a bachelor's degree. I'm pretty sure every single engineer he hires has an education. So does he think that rockets and self-driving cars just happen through willpower, or that you're just born knowing how to do this stuff? It's a type of anti-intellectualism that has gotten us this far down the rabbit hole in the first place regarding COVID and vaccines and other stuff. So then Elon Musk uses an analogy about the NBA. He says, this is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as the physical differences are so obvious to see, but the mental differences are far bigger. And I don't know, to me, it kind of sounds like he's saying that Americans are just mentally inferior and can't be taught, where the fact that we need to be taught is a loss in the first place. Because
yeah, he got it. He actually got it. He actually got it. Now I'm about to start wrapping this up, because, this led to something. You see them again, that tweet, that thread led to something. And it's right-wing retaliation. Here you go.
Getting juicy. And I want to bring you up to speed on what happened. Oh, this MAGA Civil War is getting juicy. And I want to bring you up to speed on what happened while we were sleeping, because everything escalated a bit. So this started off as a feud between Elon Musk and his tech bro coalition, saying that we do need high-skilled immigrants. We should allow H-1B visa workers to come in. And Laura Loomer and her far-right MAGA coalition said, no immigrants whatsoever. You're ruining the white purity of America, whatever their argument is. But now this has snowballed into something a lot bigger, where Elon Musk is actively throttling conservative accounts on Twitter, and they're all basically rebelling. So let's just start here. Conservative OG posted last night, all of our influencers have now lost verification status, as well as our own page. Our brand did nothing. We spoke out against HB1 visas, and it appears that Elon Musk intentionally shut us down. Is this the new status quo from America's most free social media platform?
Yes. You see, this is what he can do. This was happening to a lot of left wingers, right, leftists, and they were dealing with this bullshit, right? They were dealing with this every day, all day, and Elon Musk was, canceling them. They was being suspended. They were being, blocked and all that stuff, right? And now that you went against Elon and his ideology, you expect him to still treat you well? Let's keep it going.
We told you. How many times did we try to tell them that Elon Musk is not fighting for their interests? Elon Musk is only fighting for his own corporate and personal interests, and that he will turn on you guys the second that it benefits him. He will start to throttle your voices the second that you dissent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a free speech platform.
Talked about this on the podcast already. Talked about this on the podcast. Not So Common Sense podcast.
Elon Musk is
Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Talked about this.
This is the thing. Conservative OG and some of these other accounts that got banned were likely saying a lot of racist stuff on their account, and that's why Elon banned them. That's a justification he used, but it's not a good justification.
Again, I said this on the podcast, the Not So Common Sense podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I put it up there. He is using the fact that these guys were spewing all this hate speech online, Mr. Freedom of speech. You can say the N-word. You can use all 100 some odd characters to say the N-word to black people. You can threaten black people with white supremacy and all that. You can go here and threaten Jews and be anti-Semitic. There's no difference because, I'm Mr. Freedom of Speech. And what happened? Soon as they started saying, wait, we're going to use our freedom of speech to go against you, Elon. Oh, no, take him down, block him, suspend him, block him, take away this, take away that, get rid of him. We were saying he's going to do that because that's the way he is.
Justification, because there's been so much racism, Hitler apologia, Nazi stuff on Twitter for the past year. Elon Musk has not banned a single person. But now he is selectively throttling accounts that disagree with him on the basis of racism. We know that Elon Musk doesn't actually care about racism on Twitter. He's using that as an excuse to to throttle any dissent. We can even go over here to Laura Loomer. She posted this. We've temporarily limited some of your account features. What happened? We have determined that you have violated the X rules, and she was banned for 12 hours. Or not banned, but her account features were limited in a similar way to being shadow banned on the app. But the thing is, Laura Loomer has said so much vile stuff over the past year. Do you guys remember that tweet she posted where she said the White House is going to smell like curry because Kamala Harris is Indian? Just absolutely vile stuff. No ban, no limitations on her account features. But the moment that she pushes back against Elon Musk, her account gets temporarily limited. So she posted this. And of course,
what can I say? She gets shadow banned because she dared go against Elon. Again, I told you, this is an actual civil war. I told you, this is a civil war. This is a bloody warfare going on between MAGA and DOGE. Soon as Elon started saying something, you saw what I put up there earlier with Vivek Ramaswamy. What? How dare you? We want our white ethno state. But if you're going to bring them into work, we're not going to have our white ethno state.
Of course, we're not siding with Laura Loomer here. She's just making decent points in her quest to bring Elon Musk down a peg. She said, Elon Musk has removed my blue checkmark on X because I dared to question his support for H-1B visas, the replacement of American tech workers by Indian immigrants, and I question his relationship with China. Looks like Elon Musk is going to be silencing me for supporting original Trump immigration policies. She then just rants about how she's a true America First patriot. And the funny thing is, I actually hopped on to a Twitter space that she was on last night to listen to what she was saying. Let me play this quick clip of Laura Loomer talking about being on Trump's plane. And just
again, he's right. She was on Trump's plane. So again, I told you this is definitely infighting. These are Trump's people going head to head against one another. This is beautiful.
Whining.
I was invited by President Trump to travel as his personal guest to the debate. And then I was demonized they said, I'm the reason why President Trump said that migrants are eating people's pets, even though J.D. Vance said the same fucking thing. So it's so funny. I'm just fighting for the American people and fighting against mass migration and fighting against this abuse of the American tech worker. And I've just been completely shit on and demonized, It's totally unfair, and I
Laura,
think it's a testament to how MAGA is going to be treated in this administration if big tech is allowed to just walk into Mar-a-Lago and do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
So, but what you expect? Y'all welcome these rich people, these tech bros in. Y'all celebrated Elon Musk as if he was Iron Man. Oh, he's Tony Stark. Look at all these futuristic things he's for. Even though he's not. Every time he promises something, it's next year. Forgotten. And then now something new pops up. Next year. Forgotten. Oh, something new pops up. Next year. Oh, it comes out. It's trash. The Tesla truck. Anybody? The Tesla truck? This man is supposed to be this tech genius, but he's on the side of big oil. Instead of being on the side, like the Democratic side, that wants these charging stations built all around the country, his stupid behind is for limiting these charging stations. You have an organization that benefits from this, bruh. You should be smart and actually be for the side that actually helps your organization make money. But he's not, because he doesn't care about his organization making money when he can just become a politician and make money the old-fashioned way by stealing it from the American workers. Yeah, he's not Iron Man. He's Lex Luthor.
Okay, so she kind of plays her hand right there when she says, is this how MAGA is going to be treated during the administration if big tech is able to walk in and do whatever they're going to do? And there's truth to that. There's absolutely truth that Elon Musk and David Sachs, these people donated to Trump with the intention of entrenching their own power and influencing his policy. But Laura Loomer's doing this for a self-serving reason. Laura Loomer's not doing this because she just woke up to how bad Elon Musk is and she loves America so much. She's doing this because she realizes her influence within the White House is waning, or the future White House is waning, because these tech bros are starting to gain more and more influence. And she doesn't agree with their immigration policy. So she is pushing back hard. But this is something I found really hilarious. Elon
Here we go.
Essentially called all Americans idiots multiple times. So did Vivek Ramaswamy. They keep
Told
implying that Americans are too dumb to learn the skills needed to be successful. So let's just start here. Autism Capital, a random account on Twitter, said, so basically the right split into two factions, tech right versus the right. And the tech right is like, hey.
Let me better explain that first sentence by literally saying it the correct way. The correct way that I think Adam in here says it, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. So basically, the right split into two factions, tech right and the alt-right, right? I'm going to make sure you understand that. Tech right and the alt-right. Alt-right, like white nationalists.
We need H-1B visas to do the jobs. And the far right was like, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, but you guys are retarded. And the right is like, well, you don't train us enough. And then the tech right is like, you can't out-train being retarded. And while all of this was going on, we learned some people really don't like Indians. Now, the reason I said all of that in full without censoring it is because I think it adds more effect when we realize that Elon Musk then responded saying, that pretty much sums it up. This was eye-opening.
He said it right there. That's his personal account. Anyone takes over that account, they can already write themselves as literally dead. So it's actually him. And he says, that pretty much sums it up. We think that Americans, average Americans, this include white Americans, by the way, are retarded. Vivek Ramaswamy agrees with this. He believes that average Americans are retarded. And they mean the actual version of retarded, not just stupid. The actual clinical definition of retarded. And you can't teach them. So they have to go out there, get these HB1 visas, and gather these immigrants in here who already know how to do the job and had them go out there and do the job. Because if we had to teach Americans who, Vivek, remember, culture is built on stupidity. Don't forget, Trump won with the, uneducated. He loves the poorly educated. Don't forget what that means. He loves the poorly educated. And he's going to make sure that Americans are even more poorly educated. Why we educate you then? We set everything up so we can be fully and thoroughly against education, and you want to be educated? We're getting rid of the Department of Education. We're trying to have you go to a bunch of these, white supremacist schools. We're trying to close all the inner city schools, force the inner city schools to be shut down, and the black people that live there to be mentally retarded because they can't go to school, period. While the white kids had to go to these evangelical, white nationalist, schools where they get taught white supremacy. How are you going to have to teach you engineering in that? That's not going to work out for us. So we are okay with taking in immigrants here to save our businesses. Anything else? Come on now,
He just agreed with everything this person said, which caused a follower to say, oh, so now you are implying that Americans aren't just retarded, but we are also racist. I am your biggest fan for saving free speech in America, but you really need to think about how awful it is to call us the R word and racist. So again, sorry to anybody who does not like hearing the R word out loud. Of course, it's a vile word, but this just proves Elon Musk literally called Americans dumb in this very post. And there are a few broader takeaways I want to run down really quickly. First of all, Elon Musk is exposing himself to the MAGA audience as the anti-free speech person that we've always known him as. So Elon Musk bought Twitter and said he wants to make it an equal platform where both sides can thrive. And then he immediately started to throttle liberal journalists, left-wing journalists, people voting for Kamala Harris were actively throttled in the algorithm while right-wingers were boosted in the algorithm. We were complaining. We were like, what the hell, man? This is not free speech. This is not.
And they were celebrating, yes, get rid of all the leftists, get rid of all the journalists, don't care what you are, get rid of every last one of them. Let us be racist. They were celebrating it. And now what happened? Oh, wait. But you were for the racism, but now you're not.
Not what you promised to do, and the right covered their eyes because it helped them. It helped them serve their interests and gain power in America. Elon Musk's wealth, his ownership of X, his ability to throttle dissent helped them. But now that it's not helping them anymore, they're starting to realize, oh shit, Elon Musk is starting to strip away our verification status. Elon Musk is throttling our account features, making sure the algorithm pushes us down. And the thing is, there are a lot more examples of conservative accounts getting completely throttled over the past 24 hours. I just went over some of the bigger ones, but I could pull up 10 to 15 other accounts that are now complaining about being banned or demonetized or losing their check mark. And it is a perfect example of throttling dissent when it serves your interests. Another takeaway is that
right. Go ahead and get rid of that because you've seen it all. This is going on throughout all of Christmas. That's why Donald Trump is talking about, oh, I'm going to buy Greenland. Oh, I'm going to buy Canada. Yeah, Canada will be a great, a great 51st state. And we got to invade Mexico. And why about we get ownership of Panama again? Turn away your attention from our dissent. Because if you see that we can't even govern amongst ourselves with basically like-minded individuals, all because of racism, what you think is going to happen when, we actually have to deal with actually governing? You can't even handle basic Twitter beefs. What are you going to do when you actually have to work and gather and take care of people? What can I say? It's right there before your own eyes. They going back and forth. He's demonetizing them. He's taking away their ability to communicate. No longer is he Iron Man, he's Lex Luthor. All because, he wants to have some immigrants. Well, bro, can you just say that immigrants actually help this country actually succeed and we should actually just find a way for citizenship for them? Leave them alone. Let them do what they do. If they break the law, we have laws to treat them, right? Hey, you break the law, here's what we do. The same thing we do with everybody else. The left wing had the right idea. We're going to send things down to the border to actually affect the border, to actually make sure things are going to the up and up. We're going to give more border agents so these people can rest and have time off and holidays off and things like that. So you don't have one person in charge of hundreds of square miles. You can have more people down there, more technology, so you can capture any bit of drugs that's trafficking back and forth, because Americans are the only ones that's doing it. I know. How about we do things like that? Try to help each other out. Have judges so that these people who's coming here legally can actually go through the immigration process quickly. So you're not sitting there 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years just to get through, immigration. That was what Vice President Harris was suggesting. That's what the bipartisan border bill was suggesting. He's going to do that. But now it's, everybody gone, but Elon and Vivek wants some of the smart ones to stay. But the smart ones stayed, then everybody else going to say, well, why the smart ones staying? You're doing it for your business. Well, I need my business to stay afloat, so I'm going to bring mine in. You give an inch, they're going to take it for a mile, right? Well, you got yours, I'm going to bring mine in. Because my agricultural field is, going dilapidated. And my crops are dying. I need to keep my harvest going. I need to keep paying my bills. So I'm bringing mine in. Since you got you bills to bring yours in, I'm bringing mine in. Come on in. He got something, I'm bringing mine. His engineers are good for him because he need to keep his business going. I need Jorge over here to keep mine going. And then what they're going to do with them? At the end of the day, that they done working, you're going to get rid of them? And try to have to hunt them back down across the border? No, they're going to have the ability to walk amongst the rest of us. Then it's going to be as if nothing happened, nothing changed. maybe you should listen to the left wing and actually try to find ways to make these citizens happy. Let them come here. Let them work. Let them get homes and better lives and security. If they're going to help out the economy, what's the harm? No harm, no foul. And once you start doing harm, we ain't going to deport you. We're just going to put you in jail like everybody else. Well, this is going to be where I end the podcast. Deuces. See you. Bye, guys.